What's going on, everyone? This is Smitty here, and in this video, I just want to talk briefly about a few different things. First and foremost, this title update regarding Madden 13. This is, I'm very happy to see that in regards of what these guys are updating, a lot of this feedback is coming from the community. Like a lot of these tuning and patch details are from the community. You know what I'm saying? Not just from casual fans, from diehard fans as well. And I know it's not like a plethora of gameplay tunings and things of that nature in the patch or what have you. It would be awesome to see more, but nevertheless, this is a lot that they're giving, and a lot of this is from the community. And one thing to bear in mind is, and this is from something I said a few videos ago, I said I suggested people to go to the Game Changer page and post an idea. It could get voted up. Top thing that was voted up was fantasy drafting, and guess what? You can do fantasy drafting. You see what I'm saying? Now you're going to be able to, and now due to this, thanks to this patch, you're going to be able to play offline, co-op. You're going to be able to, offline co-op CCM. You're going to be able to edit players for CCM. When you do it offline or what have you. You see what I mean? So, with all of that being said, when you don't speak up in regards of it and you don't come correct with it, and you just say, "Oh, FEA and da 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 da," okay. Don't expect anything to happen because that's all you're doing. But if you come correct with it, change can happen. And I know it hasn't happened in years past. I fully understand that. But Cam Weber and his team, clearly you're seeing that they're listening here. And I know people say, "I don't care if Cam Weber's there. I don't care who's at the head." Actually, it does matter. You should care. Because it clearly does matter. You know what I'm saying? That's like saying if the head coach of your favorite football or basketball team is your next door neighbor that doesn't know a lick about basketball, that knows very little about basketball, never coached anyone a day in his life, all he does is just sit there and scream at the TV, in comparison to somebody who's actually coached high school or collegiately, on a collegiate level. You know what I'm saying? You're saying it doesn't matter if either one of these guys are your head coach. Just get it done. Like, no, it does matter. It honestly does matter. So, but I'll have the link in the description in regards of it. Check it out or what have you. The details or what have you. And so this is great work right here. This is great work so far. You know what I mean? So if more can be done, like I said, keep sending the suggestions and everything else, please. But now, moving from that, second thing, I want to get this through as quick as I possibly can. But now, I want to talk about this whole marketing thing or what have you. People say there's this whole hype train in regards to EA, when honestly that's not honestly the case this year. And like I said, the key word here is honest. That honestly is not the case, and this is the truth, okay? In regards of 2K, in regards of EA. Now, on the EA side, for those that remember this, the features playbook. Presentation and gameplay was displayed on April 25th. So, you got to see the read and react, you got to see the patch trajectories, you got to see player movement the way it was at that time. Not to the fullest extent, so you got to see it somewhat. Okay? So, April 25th was one thing. So, you got your initial impression from then. And this is another thing too, this is something that we've griped about before, because usually you would see them talk about audio and presentation first, and then gameplay would be like dead next to last. First they come out with a gameplay of part 1. And then Part 2, which is the physics implementation and everything, June 4th. You see that, and after that, there was a plethora of gameplay videos put out. Shout out to Regular Dave and Smalls. They did a video where they were at were at one of the days at E3, and they went to the EA booth and they played Madden for a few hours, and they shared their impression from what they initially played. And what they were saying from what was going on at the environment there was that you had people who pulled out their cameras, whether it was their phones, cameras, set up their tripods all over the place, and they were able to film everything. Ask all the questions they wanted to the devs, to Josh Lumen, to Victor Lugo, whoever was there. All of these guys extensively spoke in regards to the game, multiple interviews being done, tons of footage put up. And I'm just going to click on this here just so, now it's saying 2440 in terms of the results. But bottom line is just that, I'm pretty sure a lot of it's just doubles and stuff like that in terms of gameplay. But bottom line is that you had raw gameplay footage. Straight up gameplay footage. Not no doctored up trailers. Not no highlight studded clips. Everything straight up. All this stuff you're seeing. And in some of these videos, you had guys talking, making suggestions to the guys. Making suggestions to Josh Lumen and all that stuff. Right there in the clips. That's not doctored up. Like, this is straight up stuff right here. You know what I'm saying? You have multiple clips. So you could see the player movement. You could see the bad player movement. You could see how the O and D line interactivity was. You could see the pass trajectories. You could see all of that stuff. The physics, everything. You got to see all of that. Multiple videos out there. So to say that these guys didn't show you, they didn't tell you anything, yeah, they did. Josh Lumen did multiple interviews and he straight up said, you're not going to be able to edit players, fantasy draft, import players from NCAA into the game. He said all that stuff at E3. People hit him up on Twitter. I even hit him up on Twitter too. He was like, how come you're not going to be able to do all these things? Now, from a IT standpoint, I can understand because I deal with software and hardware implementations. When you implement something, sometimes you have to take things out to put stuff in. I understand that, especially when you're putting in this mode. I can understand when you would have to take away some of those functions because you want to make sure what you implement works. So I understand that. I fully understand that. But he just said straight up, we didn't have enough time. That's it. So, and like I said, people are being heard. People spoke up about these things. It was voted up as ideas and everything. And guess what? They were able to implement it. They put in the work and they were able to get it in. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's community speaking up, product being displayed. You got more. So all of this footage. And then on top of that, Sim and I went down there later on in the month, came back, told you, rent the game, download the demo. When the demo came out, how much gameplay did they give you? You had 2 different matchups you could play, and you had full 4 quarters. 5-minute quarters of gameplay. Come on. So they gave you more than enough right there. So you had all this information, you had all the articles. You had us tell you and stress and emphasize to download the demo, rent the game, wait till the game comes out, play it at GameStop or whatever, and then make your decision then. 2 months prior to the game coming out. So, to say that you weren't informed is asinine. You were informed. That's the truth. And now, just want to hit on this real quick. 2K13. Some people, remember this post? May 31st, they're going to come with a gameplay video. All this anticipation and excitement was built up for that. When they did show it, half the time the camera was on one of the game developers, and he's turning around, and he said, normally we don't showcase gameplay to the public at E3, and, that's understandable. But the bottom line is, part of the time was on him, part of the time was on the game. And you only got to see a quick little snippet of it, and that was it. You see what I'm saying? Now, moving on from here. What else was shown after that? Oh, Dynasty Edition. Go ahead and reserve it at GameStop. You get a basketball. You get what is it? Earbuds, a control faceplate, and all that stuff. That's what you were given. Then after that, for people that were on Twitter, oh, I got this interview, this live stream. I'm gonna be interviewing Blake Griffin and Kevin Durant, and I'm gonna show gameplay. Show no gameplay. The entire thing. No gameplay was shown. So once again, a bunch of smoke and mirrors. Then after that, oh, we got this epic announcement. Greatest announcement in 2K sports history. Come to find out, after being strung along and led along all this time, Jay-Z is the executive producer of the game. Is the biggest announcement. Okay. Then you have the 2K team up event or whatever, or the community event. Shake, iPod, go down there, Smalls, all these other guys, K-Spade, Chris Move, etc. All these guys go. Now, they all go. They only get to play one quarter repeatedly. Just like what we got to play. One quarter repeatedly. They didn't even know that crew was going to be in the game. You see what I'm saying? And they were in the studio. They didn't even know that crew was going to be. It was still up in the air after these guys were in the studio. You see what I'm saying? 2K pretty much and then we get the game, and it's a decent game, but it is littered with some serious problems that if they had been more open with their product, possibly could have been addressed prior to the game's release. And even if you sent all those guys there, these things could have possibly been addressed to give you a smoother experience and a more enjoyable gameplay experience, man. But see, no. What they're doing is they're doing a public beta test. We're just gonna we're gonna give you this one quarter, and then we're gonna just put the game out there. You all buy it, and then you tell us what the problems are, and then we'll fix it. That's pretty much what's going on here. That's pretty much what's happening. What 2K did pretty much, EA gave you the full course meal. 2K just went over and, they took that burnt piece of toast. When you got that burnt blackened, when it's blackened and everything, and you take your knife and you scrape off the blackening and all that, you scrape all that burnt stuff off. That's pretty much what they did. Yeah, we're going to hit y'all with all this burnt stuff right here, and y'all be alright. Because then, let's drop the gameplay videos. Let's drop all these little dev diary videos. That'll soothe them. That'll cool it down. And it did. It weathered the storm a little bit. It cooled it down. But then, the game comes out. There's mad frustration. Mad frustration. Issues from 2K12 carried over into 2K13 and got worse. It's ridiculous. So trust me, videos will be coming in regards of it, but I'm not going to go into that any further. Went on long enough with this. But the bottom line here is that when you look at the truth, when you look at the honest perspective, truth and honesty in regards to this, bottom line is that EA was forthcoming, where these guys just they gave you the table scraps and said, be happy and have a nice day. That's it. And that's just being honest, man. That's what honestly was put out there. Bottom line. So this is Smitty here. I'm gonna call it a wrap, and I'll be back to y'all with more videos. Peace.